Hi there, and welcome to English 101. My name is Professor Nicole Holly. My last name's pronounced Holly. So I just wanted to give you a little introduction here to the class, just an overview, and I'm going to ask you to do basically your first assignment at some point in this video. I'm going to ask you to post and message me some things, and I'll get into more detail about that in a little while. So, first of all, welcome to Valley if you're new. If you're not new, welcome to English 101. Most importantly, you are going to need, and I did message you about this, the textbook. So it's, that's backwards, right? So, a reader for college writers, and I'll show it to you here. So it looks like that. It's the 8th edition, and it's published by B like boy, V like Valerie, T like TikTok, BVT Publishing, okay? 8th edition, a reader for college writers with that, like the pen on the front with the colors splashing out and the leaves. Alright, so it's a pretty reasonably priced book. It's one of the reasons I got it, and it's got tons of stuff in here. If for any reason you're unable to purchase the book now or at any point, if this is going to be a problem, I completely understand. And I ask that you please just write to me and tell me, okay? And we'll see what we can work out. But if you are able to purchase or rent it, please go ahead and do so as soon as possible, because we will be working from it right away and throughout the semester. There will also be a second book, and that is in the syllabus that you can purchase or get in PDF format, okay? And that will be like in the between the 8th and 12th week we'll start it. It's a pretty short book. So, textbook. Other thing is that I just want to go over is how the classes run. So this is asynchronous, which means that you don't have to be in class, okay? You don't have to be in class. I will still hold conferences, and I will post the times of those on Canvas. You don't have to go. If you go, it's a kind of extra credit or extra grade is how I do it. If you don't go, however, you are required to listen to the conferences, because they're basically the lesson for that week. So I either do a conference or I do a YouTube video like this, and I think the conference is better because it's interactive. So it's on Zoom on Canvas, and you would just go back in and you'll listen. You'll see if they're recorded, and you can go ahead and play back the recording and take notes. And then those will help you to do the assignments after that. Okay, the other thing, and this is something I want to ask you to please do. Please do. This is your first assignment, okay, and I ask that you do this by around January 22nd. I'll ask you to do it by January 22nd. And that is, and if you can, by the 21st. And that is to message me privately and tell me what your connectivity is. Do you have a phone? Do you have a tablet? A computer? Do you have all of these? Do you have regular Wi-Fi? Do you have like no Wi-Fi and you have to go someplace? Is your Wi-Fi, here and there, sometimes on, sometimes off? Just tell me. I completely understand all connectivity issues. So you can just tell me straight up, whatever your situation is. It's important for me to know, and I can work with you accordingly, and we can make any adjustments that we need to make. Along those same lines, I want to say that if anything comes up, work-wise, family-wise, illness-wise, anything at all that inhibits your ability to perform in the class, you can't submit an assignment on time, something happens and you just can't do the work, maybe you just get overwhelmed, please write to me, and write to me if you can, if it's possible, beforehand, right? Of course, if there's an emergency, you end up in the hospital, and you can't write to me. If you're, God forbid, incapacitated, something happens and you can't, I understand. And write to me as soon as you can. But if you're able to, write to me in advance. Okay? I understand just about every issue you probably had. I probably had it too, believe it or not. So, financial, family. So, a little bit about myself. I've taught for about 10 years at Valley for 5. I'm a part-timer at Valley and another college. And before that, I taught at a private language school and for a couple of years at high school. Before that, I worked all kinds of jobs, customer service, restaurant, kind of you name it, retail, all different kinds of jobs. So I do understand financial issues. I also take care of a disabled family member, so I understand those kinds of issues, family issues, health issues. So just tell me, communicate. It's very, very important. Really troublesome thing. It causes trouble for you, and it's difficult for me, is when a student waits until, and I have had this happen several times, waits until the end, and I mean the end of the semester, the last day, or even a day after the semester ends, to write to me and say, I want to turn in the work now. And they haven't turned in work for 2.5, 3 months, or 4 months even. I've had that happen, and that's a problem because it's hard for me to grade all that. It's also not a way to learn. If you're trying to pack 4 months into 2 days, you're not going to really learn anything, and it affects my ability to grade everybody else. So all of you affect each other. We all affect each other, right? So if 5 people are turning in work the last week of class and wanting to turn in 5 essays or 4 essays, that's going to affect my ability to grade everyone else. So just please, please, please try to stay in communication with me. Along those same lines, I'm going to put you in groups so you can check in with each other. I ask that you do this. I'm not going to hover over you, but I ask that you do this for your sakes. Check in with the people in your group. There will be 3 to 4 in your group every week or every 2 weeks, and just see how the others are doing. You need help with something. Maybe you don't understand an assignment. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. You want to talk to each other. Maybe you can work together on assignments. So just check in. I think it's very helpful to do, especially now when we don't have much social interaction. Okay, so that's that. So communication, collaboration are very important, I think, in classes, in my classes. The assignments will be listed every week on Sunday. I will post them sometimes early Monday, but usually by Sunday night I post the assignments for the following week. So I'll give you the full week to do all of them. If ever you need to be late on an assignment, usually that's okay. A couple of days if you need extra time. Not for any emergency, but you just need extra time. Just message me. It should be fine. So that's how that works, and each week builds on the next. Okay? So the class is reading, and it's writing, and critical thinking skills, and we'll be working on all of that, writing different types of essays, reading different types of essays, and different types of writing. So the other thing I'm going to ask you to do finally, so the first 2 assignments are: 1, message me about your connectivity stuff. Your devices, your Wi-Fi and all that. And the second thing will be to post below here just an introduction. So I give you kind of a brief background of myself. Give me a little background thumbnail about yourself and to each other, okay? So just write maybe 4 sentences. Your year, or is it your first semester, your first year, second year, third, fourth, your major, nursing, criminal justice, architecture, English maybe. And, maybe any thing else you'd like us to know about your family or work or anything at all, okay? So I'll ask you to write at least 4 sentences about yourself, just a little intro. And then I will ask you to comment on somebody else's, and I'll often do this in our discussions throughout the semester. Just make a comment about somebody else's post in maybe 3 or 4 sentences, okay? I won't be strict with the sentence count, but around there, all right? Just acknowledging them and maybe finding some common interest. So that will be the second of the assignments. The first is message me about connectivity and in all of that, Wi-Fi, your situation there. And the second is to just post an introduction and comment on somebody else's introduction. And I'll ask you to do that by January 21st. These two assignments are crucial for staying in the class. Okay, I've taken classes online before, and this is generally how they're run. We have to post usually 1 or 2 very brief assignments within the first couple of days, or else we lose our spot. So you need to send me that message, and you need to do that post, okay? The brief introduction and then the comment on somebody else's introduction. And you need to do that by January 21st at midnight, okay? So otherwise I have to give your slot to someone else because there is always a waiting list. So I didn't talk about 087, but 087 is basically just to help you with everything in 101. There's a lot of grammar, and there's some critical thinking stuff, and reading skills. We do some regarding reading skills, and also some things regarding kind of study habits in general, and ways of being a successful student. So we work on a variety of things in 087 to support you in 101. So that's it from me. I look forward to getting your messages and seeing your posts below. Welcome. We will have fun and enjoy, I hope. So do your best, and I'll do my best, and I will see you. Okay, thank you.